Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me right now. While you're thinking about quitting, your competition is pushing forward. While you're considering backing down, they're stepping up. While you're looking for the exit, they're finding a way through. The difference between champions and quitters isn't talent or luck. It's three words that define warriors: never back down. Today, you're going to learn why backing down is not an option. And pushing forward is your only choice, the foundation of unbeatable survival. You want to know what separates people who achieve extraordinary things from people who live ordinary lives. It's not intelligence, it's not resources, it's not even opportunity. It's the absolute refusal to back down when things get difficult. It's the unwavering commitment to keep moving forward when every logical reason says you should retreat. It's the unshakable determination to stand your ground when pressure is highest, obstacles are greatest, and success seems impossible. Never backing down is not just a mindset, it's a way of life. It's a declaration that you will face whatever comes at you with courage, confront whatever challenges appear with strength, and overcome whatever obstacles block your path with relentless persistence. Most people back down at the first sign of a resistance. They retreat when things get uncomfortable. They quit when challenges become difficult to it. They surrender when obstacles seem insurmountable. They give up when success requires more effort than they're willing to invest. But champions are built differently. Winners operate from a different operating system. Achievers function with a different mental framework. They understand that backing down is not an option, because backing down means giving up on their dreams, abandoning their potential, and accepting a life of regret. They know that the moment you back down, you teach yourself that retreat is acceptable, that surrender is reasonable, that quitting is justified. The foundation of never backing down starts with understanding what you're really fighting for. When you know your why, when you're clear about your purpose, when you understand what's at stake, backing down becomes impossible. You don't back down when your family's future depends on your success. You don't retreat when your children are watching and learning from your explanations. You don't surrender when your dreams are on the line. You don't quit when your destiny demands that you pursue. Your why becomes the fuel that keeps you fighting when your body wants to stop, when your mind wants to quit, when your emotions want to surrender. Never backing down also means understanding that temporary discomfort is the price of permanent success. The pain you feel today from pushing forward is nothing compared to the regret you'll feel tomorrow from backing down. The struggle you experience now from standing your ground is minimal compared to the disappointment you'll experience later from retreating. The difficulty you face today from refusing to quit is small compared to the anguish you'll face in the future from giving up. Champions understand that discomfort is temporary, but quitting is permanent. Pain fades, but regret lasts forever. Challenges pass, but the consequences of backing down never go away. The foundation also includes developing what I call forward-only thinking. This means eliminating retreat as an empowerment from your mental framework. When backing down is not a possibility, when surrender is not in your vocabulary, when quitting is not in your programming, you find ways to move forward that you never would have discovered if retreat wasn't an option. It's like burning the boats when you reach enemy shores. When there's no way back, you find a way forward. When retreat is impossible, advance becomes inevitable. When backing down is not an option, breaking through becomes your only choice. Never backing down requires daily reinforcement. You don't just decide once to never back down. You make the decision every single day, every single moment, every single time you face resistance or obstacles. It's a commitment you renew when you wake up in the morning. It's a promise you keep throughout the day. It's a determination you maintain even when you're tired, discouraged, frustrated, or defeated. The warriors who never back down are not people who never feel like quitting. They're people who keep fighting even when quitting seems like the most reasonable option. THEW warrior, mentality of unstoppable advancements, to never back down, you must develop what I call the warrior mentality, a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities to prove your stringency, obstacles as chances to demonstrate your determination, and resistance as evidence that you're pursuing something significant. Warriors don't avoid battles, they seek them out. They don't run from challenges, they run toward them. They don't back down from difficulty, they embrace it as a chance to grow stronger, more capable, more resilient. The warrior mentality understands that life is not about avoiding conflict. It's about handling conflict with courage. It's not about preventing challenges. It's about overcoming challenges with strategy. It's not about eliminating obstacles. It's about demolishing obstacles with determination. Warriors know that the obstacles in their path are not there to stop them. They're there to taste them, to develop them, to prepare them for even greater challenges ahead. Every battle fought is training for the next battle. Every challenge overcome is preparation for the next challenge. Every obstacle demolished is practice for the next obstacle. Warriors also understand the difference between strategic retreat and backing down. Strategic retreat is a temporary withdrawal to regroup, reassess, and return stronger. Backing down is permanent surrender. Strategic retreat says, I'm stepping back to find a better approach. Backing down says, I'm giving up on this goal. Strategic retreat is about changing your tactics while maintaining your objective. Backing down is about abandoning your objective because tactics became difficult. Warriors know when to adjust their strategy, but they never abandon their mission. The warrior mentality also includes what I call offensive living. Most people live defensively, protecting what they have, avoiding risks, playing it safe, backing down when things get toja. But warriors live offensively, pursuing what they want, taking risks, playing to win, advancing when others retreat. Defensive living creates small, limited, fearful lives. Offensive living creates big, expansive, courageous lives. Defensive players back down. Offensive players press forward. Warriors also develop immunity to intimidation. They don't back down when opponents seem stronger. They don't retreat when obstacles seem lingular. They don't surrender when challenges seem impossible. They understand that intimidation is a tactic used by obstacles to make you back down without even trying. But when you refuse to be intimidated, when you stand your ground despite feeling afraid, when you advance despite facing something that seems bigger than you, you'll discover that most intimidating things are far less powerful than they appear. The warrior mentality includes embracing what I call comfortable discomfort. Warriors have learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. They don't back down when situations become difficult because difficulty is their normal. They don't retreat when pressure increases because pressure is where they thrive. They don't surrender when challenges intensify because intensity is their environment. They've spent so much time in uncomfortable situations that discomfort no longer triggers their retreat instant. Warriors also understand that backing down once makes backing down easier the next time. Every time you retreat, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with quieting. Every time you surrender, you reinforce the pattern of giving up. Every time you back down, you make backing down more likely in the future. But every time you refuse to retreat, you strengthen your resolve. Every time you refuse to surrender, you build your determination. Every time you refuse to back down, you develop the warrior mentality that makes you unstoppable. THE psychology of relentless persistence, never backing down, requires understanding the psychology of persistence. Why some people keep going when others quit. Why certain individuals maintain their advance when circumstances suggest they should retreat. Why particular warriors refuse to back down even when backing down seems reasonable. The psychology of relentless persistence reveals that champions don't possess superhuman willpower. They possess superior mental frameworks that make persistence natural and backing down. You aim and naturalize that. And backing down, you are unthinkable. The first psychological principle is what researchers call commitment consistency. Humans have a deep psychological need to be consistent with it. When you publicly declare that you'll never back down, when you make promises about your persistence, when you commit to standing your ground no matter what, your brain works overtime to maintain consistency with these commitments. This is why public declarations are so powerful. They create psychological pressure to follow through rather than back down. The psychology also includes understanding your pain threshold versus your regret threshold. Everyone has a pain threshold, the point at which discomfort becomes unbearable and retreat seems necessary. But everyone also has a regret threshold, the point at which the pain of not trying becomes greater than the pain of trying. People who never back down have trained themselves to have high pain thresholds but low regret thresholds. They can endure enormous discomfort, but they can't tolerate the thought of giving up and living with regret Another crucial psychological principle is identity-based PX silence. People who never back down don't see persistence as something they do. They see it as someone they are. They don't think I need to keep going. They think I'm someone who never backs down. This identity level commitment is far more powerful than behavior level. When backing down would require betraying your core identity, backing down becomes impossible. When quitting would mean being someone you're not, quitting becomes unthinkable. The psychology of relentless persistence also includes what I call future self-visualization. People who never back down maintain a vivid vision of who they'll become if they keep advancing. They see their future self clearly successful, accomplished, proved, but they also see what happens if they back down. A future self filled with regret, disappointment, shame. This contrast between the future self who persisted and the future diet self who quit creates powerful motivation to keep moving forward. Understanding sunk cost psychology is also crucial. Every step you take toward your goal is an investment. The more you invest, the harder it becomes to back down, because backing down means losing everything you've already invested. Warriors understand this and use it to their advantage. They remind themselves of all the effort, time, energy, and resources they've already committed. They make backing down psychologically more costly than pushing forward. The psychology also reveals the power of small wins. Momentum. People who never back down don't focus on the distance remaining, they focus on the progress made. They celebrate every small victory. They acknowledge every forward step. They recognize every obstacle overcome. This creates psychological momentum that makes continued advance feel natural, while backing down feels like betraying their progress. Another psychological principle is adversity reframing. Winners who never back down have trained themselves to interpret adversity differently than quitters do. When obstacles appear, quitters think, this is a sign I should back down. Winners think, this is a sign I'm on the right path. When challenges intensify, quitters think, this means it's not meant to be. Winners think, this means I'm getting close. When resistance increases, quitters think I should retreat. Winners think I should accelerate. Physical embodiment of never backing down. Never backing down is not just a mental comment. It's a physical embodiment. Your body language, your posture, your physical presence must all communicate the message, I will not retreat. Champions understand that the body and mind are connected. How you hold your body affects how you think, and how you think affects how you hold your body. When you physically embody the stance of someone who never backs down, your mind follows suit. The physical embodiment starts with your posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, head up, eyes forward. This is not just about looking confident, it's about being confident. Research shows that adopting power postures increases testosterone, confidence, and dominance, and decreases cortisol associated with stress and fear. When you stand like someone who never backs down, you become someone who never backs down. Your voice also carries the message of never backing down. Speak with conviction. Project your voice. Eliminate the questioning upward inflection that signals uncertainty. Don't whisper your commitments. Declare them. Don't mumble your intentions. Announce them. Don't apologize for your determination. Proclaim it. The way you speak either reinforces your resolve or undermines your commitment. Physical embodiment also includes your movement. Move with purpose. Walk with determination. Don't shuffle or or slouch or drag your feet. Move like someone on a mission. Warriors don't move hesitantly. They move decisively. They don't approach challenges tentatively. They approach them boldly. Your physical movement either communicates retreat or advance. Make sure every step communicates forward motion. Eye contact is another crucial element of physical embodiment. Look challenges directly in the EYE. Don't avoid, don't look down, don't glance away. When you maintain eye contact with your obstacles, you send a message to your brain, I'm not afraid of this. I will not back down. Avoiding eye contact signals retreat to your subconscious. Maintaining eye contact signals advance. The physical embodiment also includes your breathing. Warriors breathe deeply. They don't take shallow, rapid breaths that signal panic. Deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your body and clears your mind. When you breathe deeply in the face of challenges, you physically embody the calm strength of someone who would never back down. Your physical conditioning also affects your ability to never back down. When your body is strong, your mind is strong. When your physical energy is high, your mental resilience is high. When your body is fit, your capacity to persist is greater. Physical weakness makes it easier to back down. Physical strength makes it easier to stay your ground. This is why champions train their bodies with the same intensity they train their minds. Physical embodiment also includes what I call power rituals, physical actions that reinforce your commitment to never back down. This might be hitting your chest before a challenge. It might be clenching your fists when you want to quit it. It might be a specific stance you take when facing obstacles. These rituals create physical anchors for your mental commitment. They give your body a way to remind your mind of your restful levels. Tishi strategic advancing when others retreat, never backing down, doesn't mean mindlessly charging forward without strategy. It means strategically advancing when others are retreating. It means finding intelligent ways to move forward when circumstances make forward movement difficult. It means adapting your tactics while maintaining your direction. The warriors who never back down are not reckless, they're strategic, they're not foolish, they're smart. They're not blind to reality. They see reality clearly and find ways to advance and despite it. A strategic advance starts with assessing the situation accurately. Don't sugarcoat the challenges. Don't underestimate the obstacles. Don't minimize the difficulty. See things as they really are. But after seeing reality clearly, ask this question, how can I move forward despite this reality? Not should I back down. But how do I advance forward? This single question changes everything. Strategic advance also means identifying the path of least resistance while maintaining forward momentum. Sometimes the direct path is blocked, bomb elect blocked. Sometimes the obvious route is closes. Sometimes the expected way is impossible. But there's always another way. Warriors who never back down don't keep smashing against the same wall. They find a way around, over, under, or throughs. They maintain their direction while adjusting their route. The strategic advance includes what I call patience with urgency. This means being urgent about your goal while being patient with your progress. It means moving forward consistently without expecting instant results. It means maintaining momentum without demanding immediate outcomes. Impatience makes people back down when results don't come quickly. But patience with urgency keeps you advancing steadily toward your destination. Strategic advance also means knowing when to rest without retreating. Rest is not retreat. Recovery is not surrender. Taking a breath is not backing down. Warriors understand that rest enables continued advance. They take strategic breaks to rebuild their strength, but they never retreat from their objective. They pause to reload, but they never abandon their mission. The strategic advance includes building what I call advanced INFRA structure. This means creating systems, habits, and environments that make forward movement natural. It means removing obstacles before they appear. It means building momentum that carries you through difficult periods. It means creating conditions where backing down is harder than pushing forward. Champions don't rely on willpower alone. They build structures that support their commitment. Strategic advance also means leveraging resources wisely. Warriors who never back down understand that they don't have to advance alone. They build teams. They find mentors. They leverage technology. They use every resource available to maintain forward momentum. They understand that asking for help is not backing down. It's being smart about advancing forward. The strategic advance includes what I call compound pestilence. This means that every day you refuse to back down, you're not just maintaining your positions, you're advancing your capability. You're building mental muscle. You're developing emotional resilience. You're creating psychological stress. Each day of not backing down makes you more capable of not backing down tomorrow. Persistence compounds just like interest. Taishi transforming through trio, never backing down, transforms you into someone stronger, more capable, more resilient than you were when you started. The trials you face when you refuse to retreat are not just obstacles to overcome, they're opportunities to evolve. They're not just challenges to survive, they're chances to thrive. They're not just difficulties to endure, they're developments that make you more than you were before. The transformation starts with discovering strengths you didn't know you possessed. When you refuse to back down, when you're forced to keep moving forward despite wanting to quit, you tap into reserves of strength, courage, and determination you never knew existed. You find that you're capable of more than you imagined. You discover that your limits are further than you thought it. You realize that you're stronger than you believed. Never backing down also reveals your true character. When things are easy, anyone can keep going. When circumstances are favorable, everyone advances forward. But when difficulty intensifies, when obstacles multiply, when challenges seem insurmountable, that's when your true character emerges. People who back down reveal that their commitment was conditional. People who keep advancing reveal that their commitment is unshakable. Your response to adversity reveals who you really are. The transformation also includes developing what I call challenge I am immunity. The first time you face a major obstacle, it feels overwhelming. The first time you want to quit but don't, it feels impossible. But each time you refuse to back down, challenges become less intimidating, obstacles become less overwhelming, difficulties become less impossible. You develop immunity to the things that make other people retreat. What would have made you back down before no longer phases you now. Never backing down also transforms your relationship with fear. Fear never completely disappears, but its power over you diminishes dramatically. You learn that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. You discover that courage is not the absence of fear, it's action despite fear. You realize that you can feel afraid and still move forward. This transformation in your relationship with fear changes everything about what you attempt and what you achieve. The transformation through trial also creates what I call adversity appetite. Most people develop an aversion to difficulty. They avoid challenges and seek comfort. But people who never back down develop an appetite for adversity. They start seeking out challenges because they know challenges make them stronger. They pursue difficulty because they understand difficulty develops catharsis. They choose the harder path because they've learned that the harder path leads to greater growth. Never backing down also transforms how you view yourself. Before, you might have seen yourself as someone who tries, but sometimes quits. After consistently refusing to back down, you see yourself as someone who persists regardless of circumstances. This identity shift is profound. When you see yourself as someone who never backs down, backing down becomes inconsistent with your identity. You can't do it because it's not who you are. The transformation also includes developing what I call setback I am immunity. The first few times you experience setbacks, they might tempt you to back down. But after refusing to back down through multiple setbacks, you develop immunity to their power. Setbacks become just bumps in the road, not reasons to turn around. Failures become feedback, not finality. Defeats become lessons, not destinations. TAG, legacy of unbeatable will. When you live by the principle of never backing down, you create a legacy that extends far beyond your personal achievements. You become an explorer to others of what's possible when someone refuses to quit. You become proof that Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things through extraordinary sustenance. You become an inspiration for everyone who witnesses your refusal to retreat. Your legacy of never backing down starts with the people who are watching. Your children are watching how you handle adversity. Your employees are watching how you respond to challenges. Your friends are watching how you face obstacles. Your community is watching how you deal with setbacks. When they see you refuse to back down, when they witness you keep fighting when others would quit, when they observe you maintain your advance, when circumstances suggest retreat, you give them permission to do the same. The legacy also includes the paths you create. Every time you refuse to back down, every time you push through obstacles instead of retreating from them, every time you advance when others are backing you, you're creating a path that others can follow. You're proving that what seemed impossible is possible. You're demonstrating that what appeared insurmountable can be surmounted. You're showing that what looked like a dead end is actually a path forward. Your unbreakable will also creates what I call generational impact. The determination you display today affects not just your life, but the lives of your children, your children's children, and generations you'll never meet. When you refuse to back down, you're teaching future generations that retreat is not acceptable, that surrender is not reasonable, that quitting is not justified. You're installing in them the same warrior mentality that drives your persistence. The legacy of never backing down also includes the VICTE stories that inspire others. Every goal you achieve because you refuse to back down becomes evidence for someone else that persistence pays. Every challenge you overcome because you wouldn't treat becomes proof for someone else that obstacles can be conquered. Every obstacle you demolish because you kept advancing becomes inspiration for someone else facing similar difficulties. Your legacy also includes changing the culture around you. When you consistently refuse to back down, when you model relentless persistence, when you demonstrate that quitting is not an option, you create a culture where backing down becomes UN acceptable. You raise the standard for everyone. You change what's considered normal. You transform what people think is possible. The legacy of unbreakable will also include the transformation you spark in others. When people see you refuse to back down, something changes in them. They start questioning their own limits. They start reconsidering their own capabilities. They start believing that maybe they can keep going too. Your persistence becomes contagious. Your determination becomes infectious. Your refusal to back down becomes a movement. TTG final stand of W. Warriors. This is where everything comes together. Comes together. This is where you make the decision that will define the rest of your life. This is where you choose whether you'll be someone who backs down when things get tough or someone who advances when others retreat. This is your moment to declare, I will never back down. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Right now, you need to understand something crucial. The decision to never back down is not a one-time choice, it's a commitment you renew every single time you face resistance. It's a promise you keep every single moment that you want to quit. It's a declaration you make every single day you wake up. The warriors who never back down are not people who never feel like retreating. They're people who keep advancing even when retreats seems reasonable. Your final stand starts with making this declaration. Right now, I will face whatever challenges come at me with courage. I will confront whatever obstacles appear with strategy. I will overcome whatever difficulties block my path with determination. I will never back down from my goals, my dreams, or my destiny. Retreat is not an option. Surrender is not acceptable. Quitting is not in my vocabulary. But declarations without action are just words. You must follow this declaration with immediate movement. Right now, identify one area where you've been thinking about backing down, one goal you've been considering abandoning, one dream you've been thinking about surrendering, one challenge you've been planning to retreat from. Now make the decision. You will not back down. You will find a way. You will keep advancing. The final stand also means understanding what's at stake. If you back down now, you're not just giving up on one goal. You're programming yourself to back down in the future. You're teaching yourself that retreat is acceptable. You're training yourself to quit when things get difficult. But if you refuse to back down now, you're building the warrior mentality that will carry you through every future challenge. Your final stand requires you to burn the boats, eliminate the option of retreat, remove the possibility of backing down, destroy the escape routes. When you have no choice but to advance, you will advance. When retreat is impossible, progress becomes inevitable. When backing down is not an option, breaking through becomes your only choice. The warriors who never back down don't just succeed in achieving their goals. They become people capable of achieving any goal. They don't just overcome specific obstacles. They develop the capacity to overcome all obstacles. They don't just win particular battles. They become winners in life. The refusal to back down transforms not just your results, but your entire identity. Your life is waiting for you to take your stand. Your dreams are waiting for you to refuse to retreat. Your destiny is waiting for you to commit to never backing down. The world needs more warriors who refuse to quit. It needs more people who keep advancing when everyone else is retreating. It needs you to stand your ground and declare, I will never back down. So stand up right now. Feel the strength in your body. Feel the determination in your heart. Feel the resolve in your soul. This is who you really are. Not someone who backs down, but someone who stands strong. Not someone who retreats, but someone who advances. Not someone who quits, but someone who persists until victory is achieved. The moment of retreat is over. The time of backing down has ended. The era of surrender is finished. From this moment forward, you are a warrior who never backs down. You are a champion who refuses to retreat. You are a victor who keeps advancing no matter what. Now go show the world what happens when someone refuses to back down. Go demonstrate what's possible when someone keeps advancing. Go prove that ordinary people with extraordinary Petersons can achieve extraordinary things. Never back down. Never retreat. Never surrender. Your destiny demands it. Your dreams require it. Your future depends on IT. Now, go make it happen.